Now, when Steve was on stage earlier, he was talking about Portsmouth 100, which we're really looking forward to celebrating this year. But many of you will know that there's also another very big event happening this year in Portsmouth. So I'd like to welcome CP Robinson on stage to talk to us about Portsmouth Pride.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you for having us. I realise I'm the kind of one of the last speakers of the day, so we need some energy and we need some excitement, so hopefully we're going to bring that to you. As Yvonne said, I'm CP. I'm one of the chairs of the Portsmouth Pride Trust. I'm one of the trustees. I lead the UK Pride implementation work, and I'm a volunteer. And I think that's a really important thing to say, because while Portsmouth Pride has always tried to have the reputation, the impact, the values of an organisation with a full-time staff, we are all volunteers, every single one of us. Oh, clicky, clicky. Yay, there we go. All of these people, every single one of them that in another part of their life has another responsibility, whether they're a business owner, a full-time carer, they have full-time or part-time employment. Every single person up there volunteers their time to make Portsmouth Pride what it is, and is volunteering their time continually to now make sure that UK Pride will be what it is. We've grown massively in the last couple of years since coming back from COVID to this wonderful, wonderful gathering now that we probably couldn't have imagined a few years ago. That's us taking our volunteers out for a little Christmas lunch up at Panero. We are always looking for more volunteers, and as business leaders, you'll know the value of corporate volunteering, Skillshare volunteering for your CSR, for your ESG. I got involved with Portsmouth Pride about 5 years ago. I was a business development exec for the Association of Colleges, working on EdTech sponsorships and that sort of thing to get businesses into education. And Pride gave me a role as a corporate partnerships manager on a volunteer basis, because I wanted to develop my skills in a different industry and get a broader experience. That enabled me to get a role as a corporate partnerships manager in a national charity. That enabled me to get a role as a head of corporate partnerships for an international children's charity, and then came full circle back to Portsmouth, where I'm now head of development for Portsmouth Cathedral. It's still helping me to this day. Every bit of volunteering that I do with Portsmouth Pride still helps me in my day job. It's valuing the cathedral, it's valuing everything that I can do. And I know you'll know that if you're sending your workforce out and giving them volunteer hours, or you just know that they're out there in the community volunteering with an amazing community project or a charity, that you're seeing that return for your business. I also get to volunteer. I'm going to do a shameless plug here. Lara Kinvin, over there, stand up, hello. I get to volunteer with the lovely Lara, who runs the Baton of Hope for Portsmouth, and she's bringing this literal baton, like the Olympic torch, to Portsmouth for its very first time in 2025, which is an amazing, amazing person raising awareness for everybody impacted by suicide and suicide loss. So if there's absolutely anything you can do to support that tour across the city and the amazing baton, even if it's just going on Facebook and following it and sharing, we never know who's out there that's impacted by such an important topic. So an amazing person, please. So I'm going to take you back about 2 years. There was an awful photo earlier of me at the end of an event, and I think it's really evil to grab people at the end of their own events where they've been running around and sweating and setting tables up and presenting and all that sort of stuff, and be like, right, now take a photo, and then you don't expect it to be on like a 4-metre wide screen. But that was the Portsmouth Pride Stakeholder Network back in December. But I'm going to take you back about 2 years ago. The wonderful Jodie Goodchild, who's still in the same place she was earlier, which is wonderful because I hate when people move and then... Anyway, Jodie and I had this concept to set up a network for organisations that cared about the Pride movement, mostly businesses at that point. And we wanted to gather them together because we had this ambition as Portsmouth Pride to bid and host UK Pride. I tell this story quite a lot and talk about the growth of the stakeholder network. And then when I was writing some notes for these slides, I thought, you know what, I'm going to actually go back to that very first meeting and check exactly who was there, because I remembered it was quite a small group. So I'm going to name them by name. We had Susie Horton, Samo White, Joe Taffarelli, the Very Reverend Anthony Kane, the President of the University of Portsmouth Student Union LGBT Society, Joe Morgan, Annabelle Ines, and the lovely Kate Pearce, who also hasn't moved. She's still there, wonderful. Those people were the first people that joined the Portsmouth Pride Stakeholder Network to be a critical friend to us, to be that sounding board as we were intending to bid to host UK Pride. The network grew to 20 people, then to 50, and now it's over 160 representatives that are engaged in the Pride movement, and it is now a supported programme of shaping Portsmouth as well as we grow and grow and grow. The last gathering on screen on both pictures, last gathering was 150 people on World AIDS Day, hosted by the Queen's Hotel. We were raising money at that for the Elton John AIDS Foundation through a wonderful chap called Andrew Major, who's a Portsmouth local who is currently midway through the Atlantic. He's on a solo row across the Atlantic in a Portsmouth Pride painted boat. It's really wonderful. The point of that network was never to get businesses in a room so that we could sell them sponsorship and partnerships and ask them for money, but to get genuine updates on our work, to network, and to find true opportunities to collaborate across corporate, civic, and community organisations. In the right-hand photo, where, yes, that is a drag queen, Lady Princess Di, shaking hands with Stephen Morgan. You didn't think you'd see that at this conference. But in the background of that photo, you can see representatives of Morecambe Pride, of Chichester Pride, and Southampton Pride as well, because we're trying to really share the learning, the network, the connections that we've built here in Portsmouth with other organisations doing similar things to us. Because while we can say collaboration, not competition here in Portsmouth, it's what we say in the UK Pride network as well with all of the other organisers across the country. So, I've said UK Pride a few times. Hopefully people aren't living under rocks and we know what that's about. But if you don't, like I said, of the 260 community-run Pride organisations across the country, every year one is selected to host the title UK Pride. A bit like City of Culture, a little bit like the Olympics, all that sort of stuff. Back in 2023 we bid and we won that bid. We prefer to say that Portsmouth is hosting UK Pride, not Portsmouth Pride is hosting, because it is a full citywide effort, making everything a success. And we never intended for it to change us. So if you're familiar with Portsmouth Pride's work, you're familiar with the year-round programmes and then the big event down on Southsea Common that is completely free and completely unfenced, which is quite a rarity for Prides, that's not going to change us. But what it is going to do is broaden our work. So in the last networking break, I've littered tables with loads of these little booklets, which we produced for the 1st of December event called the 25 in 25. And that lists the 25 ways that anybody across the community can get involved in UK Pride 2025. Thanks to support from the Arts Council and other partners, almost all of that is free, completely free to access. We've got things in there like panel discussions hosted by the Mary Rose Museum, national profile art exhibitions, drag nights, theatre shows at Beach Clean, and there's still loads more to be added. So this booklet was out of date the second we went to print. I think we're now up to 31, 32 events. I'm looking at my other co-chair, maybe, 31, 32, and we're still adding. The first one in there is tonight. The Face of Portsmouth Pride, the wonderful cherry liqueur, is hosting the official launch event, the official opening of the UK Pride year at an event called Cherry's Big Opening. And some people did not get that joke when we first came up with it, so thank you for laughing and humouring me. My notes said, there are still tickets available, and at midnight tonight it will be 20 weeks to go. There aren't tickets available, really sorry, it's completely sold out, but at midnight tonight it will be 20 weeks to go until UK Pride 2025. And there's an open invitation there as well. This booklet is your open invitation. If you're a venue, a community group, a business, we want to keep spreading the UK Pride across the city, and we want you to help with this. You don't need our permission to host an event for UK Pride. This is your permission to do so. We'd love to hear about anything that you're doing, and we can certainly help, but we want you to feel like you have that mantle to run and do something so that everybody across the city feels part of the event. I mentioned earlier, we had some amazing partners that support our work year-round, not just the main day event, but projects and programmes that really impact the LGBTQ+ community right across the city, supporting that aim to create a more inclusive city for the people that live, work and study here. Especially, I just want to highlight Hampshire Boulevard, Portsmouth City Council, Victorious, Liquid Friday and Biscoes that are all partners who are engaged with us on multi-year partnerships, which is really what we strive for. And these partners support us to make sure that Pride in Portsmouth is more than just one day, with a focus on the main day activity. We're never not looking to grow that network of partners, and it's only with the help of our partners that we can make sure Pride is more than just one day. But we have a goal to make sure that UK Pride is also more than just one year. We want the impact of UK Pride to be felt across multiple years as we enter our next stage of development as a charity, and we need your help to do this. So we're going to need continued support to make Portsmouth a more inclusive city. So please do reach out absolutely any way you want to if you'd like to have some of that conversation. What's next? Oh, there we go. Now, this is a section that you can see up on the screen. That's me and Tally stood on a part of the Pride flag. This is just one, about 40% or so of what we're calling the UK Pride flag in 2025. It was sewn by our community in workshops funded by Portsmouth City Council, Chris Atwell's Community Inclusion Fund. And this section here is 25 metres by 4.5 metres long, and it takes about 50 people to carry it in the parade. It was made by the community, so it's carried by the community. 50 people last year, as I said, but it's being extended this year. There's another 25 metres currently being sewn. It is literally on my dining table at the moment because we've got a workshop on Sunday. And the new version that we're making is a replica of the 1978 original Pride flag that was constructed by Gilbert Baker at the request of Harvey Milk when he wanted a symbol to unify the community. So that's an H-stripe design, so there's two more colours than exist in that one. Together, along with the original flag that we created, they'll span over 60 metres long and be carried at UK Pride this year. But we want to... Oh, I've lost a slide somewhere. Never mind. It's fine. It's a photo of Stephen Morgan carrying the flag. You get the gist. We want to tour this flag to as many locations, as many landmarks, as many venues, as many sites, right across the city, right across Portsmouth, as many as possible. That tour will be filmed. We're working with the wonderful team down at Solent Sky Services to capture the scale of the project. And that film will become part of the national marketing campaign for UK Pride. We'll also be inviting other professional and amateur photographers, filmmakers, videographers to be part of that project so that everybody gets credit for what is a big communal project. We've already confirmed the National Museum of the Royal Navy, the Mary Rose Museum, the Royal Marines Band School, Gunwharf Quays, Portsmouth Cathedral, the Queen's Hotel, the King's Theatre, as well as plenty of outdoor locations, including every high street across the city with the thanks of wonderful Jane Lemaire and her team. In the networking break as well, we've also confirmed the Portsmouth Port. So we want to do more. We want to take that to more locations. So if you have an idea for a location that we've not thought about, or if you have a venue that you want us to bring the flag to, or if you just want to see it in action, make sure you come down to Southsea Common on Saturday, the 7th of June, 2025. Thank you.
So, a bit of a bone to pick with you there then, CP. You're talking about your large flag, and events.
Yep.
You didn't think about bringing it here today?
Well, this is the thing. So we officially launch the UK Pride long campaign, that 20 weeks, tonight at Hampshire Boulevard. But Michael at Solent Sky Services actually did say he wanted to see if we could bring the flag here and put it outside in the Guildhall and get everybody from the conference to go down and stand outside it. So maybe the next Business Leaders Forum or the next year of conference, we can have a look at that.
Could we not just, I know you're launching tonight, but could we not just like unofficially launch now?
As long as everybody in the room promises that if they put anything on social media, it says unofficially launched. In brackets, please. Thank you.
I'll take that. Yeah. Should we do an unofficial launch of UK Pride in Portsmouth, UK Pride 2025? I think you probably want a 5-second countdown.
Yeah, sure.
Should we do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Hey. Brilliant. Thanks, CP.
Oh, that is amazing. So officially, Portsmouth is 100, and we are the City of Pride this coming year.